Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another concert review. Today, I am going to talk about a concert review that's been a long time coming for me. I got to see for the very first time one of my absolute favorite bands on the planet, the Wild Feathers. Now, uh, if you follow my channel, you know that I've done a lot of Wild Feathers related content. I did a series where I talked about why I love the Wild Feathers way back, probably a year, 2, 3 years ago. I think I did a video, actually, one of my first 10 or 12 videos where I talked about the Wild Feathers. And just one of those bands that don't get the respect that they deserve. They are a group that has quite a resume behind them. They've opened for some really big name kind of artists. They've toured with Bob Dylan, Paul Simon, Bob Seger. This summer, they're going to go on a tour as the opener for the Wallflowers, that's fronted by Jacob Dylan, Bob Dylan's son. So they've been, they've got some chops behind them. Been around now for 13 years as a unit, the way that they currently are. They've had one lineup change, but they've pretty much been the same five guys now for a good many years. Uh, really cool show. So this was up at the venue is called Jammin' Java up in Vienna, Virginia. Now Vienna is about uh, 30-40 minutes south of DC, and I drove there from my fiance's house. She's kind of halfway between where I am and that spot, so it was nice not to have to drive all the way back home. That I had a place to crash. So Wild Feathers, they have the harmonies of groups like the Eagles. They have a very Tom Petty influence in their music. They're self-proclaimed fans of Bob Dylan, but they fit into that vein of kind of like that alt country sound that came out of the '90s with Uncle Tupelo, early Wilco, Sun Volt, Ryan Adams, Whiskey Town, that kind of sound. So if you like that stuff, they also look at the Jayhawks. That's another band that they like. So they've kind of got that nice mix of like that '90s alt country sound mixed with that classic rock and roll sound of those harmony groups, the Eagles, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, that kind of thing. But what was cool about this for me was that, as you may remember, last January I purchased a Gibson guitar from singer-songwriter Ricky Young of the Wild Feathers. And here is a vinyl record that I purchased. Sorry about that glare. The other night, there's Ricky there. Uh, I bought a guitar from him through Instagram, and we've kind of been in correspondence the last year or so, just saying like, I want you guys to come to Virginia. I've never seen you. You're always in Nashville, Texas. Kind of in that area. And finally, when they announced this last run of like southeastern shows, this was the last show of that tour, so I had to get there. It was $20 to get in, I think 25 at the door, and I was like, $20 to see these guys that I've been wanting to see since college. It was a no-brainer. One of the cool things is I was telling some of the band members after the show, because I did get to meet Ricky and Taylor Burns, who has this great kind of soulful, raspy voice, and then Joel King, their bass player, but also he plays all sorts of instruments. He's a guitar player. He plays mandolin, sings, kind of has the more like nasally, but in a good way, Tom Petty-ish kind of voice. This is Ben Dumas, the drummer, and then they have a fifth member, Brett Moore, who I have a good picture. You can kind of see in this gatefold. There's Brett right there. He's the lead guitarist, very good guitar player there. So all I have to say, got to the show, probably 25-30 people sitting in there. It's kind of one of these places you go in, They check you in, they stamp your hand. The bar is right there. It kind of goes along the wall, and then you have like the open space with the stage. I bet you this building doesn't hold more than 200 people legally. So that's probably about how many people were there, maybe a little bit less. But it was good. It still felt like a full show, but also didn't feel like you were crammed shoulder to shoulder with people. So I got there, listened to the opener, who was a fantastic musician named Nathan Graham. He was out of Chicago. Really great. He was playing a Fender Strat and this like beautiful small body Martin guitar. I don't know how old that thing was, but he can make those things ring. Had this soulful voice, kind of gave me a little bit of Gary Clark Jr. That kind of feel to it. Really, really good. He did a version of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young's Ohio, which was really, really cool and kind of fitting that we were, in DC with all the turmoil that's going on right now in this country. So very, very cool. He played 35 minutes or so. Fantastic. Loved it. Followed him on social media. I'm an instant fan of this guy. He's fantastic. The Feathers come out, they just kind of make their way on stage. I'm standing right up front, and it's a small stage. It's not as wide as this apartment. And, the guys just break into it. They broke in a song called Ain't Looking was the first song, I believe, from this album, Alvarado, which was their second to last album. They're currently on New West Records, which is also home to Steve Earle, Rodney Crowell, Justin Townes Earle was on that label as well. And so very, very cool. And then they broke into one of my favorite songs, which is from this album, the opening track, Quittin' Time, which has a great 3-part vocal with the 3 guys. They all take different lead parts. Taylor on the chorus absolutely destroys. It's so good. It's a rockin' song, killer drums, great guitars, Taylor's soulful voice. It's one of those like driving down the highway, crank it up kind of tunes. And that's how so much of their music is too. It's, they've got a couple of ballads, but, people that look at my channel think, oh, it's just another country band on Sam's channel. No, 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 no. They're not a country band. They're, for all intents and purposes, to me, they're a rock and roll band. They're fantastic. And so we hear those songs. They did a bunch of songs from across their catalog. They did a bunch from their first album here. And I'm showing CDs because they're easiest to show. This is the debut, just self-titled Wild Feathers. They did the song Backwoods Company, which is like this like upbeat song, just like a stomp kind of tune. They did the song The Ceiling, which is this great kind of epic 6-minute type song. Left My Woman is their biggest song. That's always like a big crowd sing along, kind of an acoustic, mellow tune. Really, really great. If You Don't Love Me, I believe they did that. Really, really good stuff. They did songs from Lonely Is a Lifetime. This is their second album. They did the song Happy Again, which is fantastic. I think they did On My Way. I think. Maybe not. So, sorry about that. Yeah, so this is the second album. This was kind of like a change of form for them. It was kind of more of like a, we're going to experiment a little bit more, but still a good record. Then I also got this the other night. This is an album called Medium Rarities, and you can only buy it online on vinyl. So I have this on vinyl. It's sealed. Not sealed, sorry. It's signed by all the guys. But this is great. It's kind of like the B-sides, and then they do a few covers. They do the song Blue by the Jayhawks. They do Almost Cut My Hair by Crosby, Stills, and Nash. They do Guitar Man by Bread, which is really good. And then they do a bunch of their original stuff too. So kind of a good, like, grab bag of leftover stuff. The rarities, the medium rarities. So you can only get it on CD at the shows. So like this has been a grail for me to get this on CD because you can only get it on CD at the shows. So very happy to have that. And the merch was so reasonably priced. This was $10. Vinyl was $25. So to get it right there, boom. But Yeah, overall, a fantastic show. They did do a version of Handle with Care by the Traveling Wilburys, which I know has been in their set now for a good bit. And they kind of announced, they say, this is the song that, that made us become a band. Like, this is why we wanted to play music, was because of this song. And then they have, the three guys changing the parts, just like the Traveling Wilburys did. But yeah, fantastic. Again, I got to meet the guys. It was so cool. Two of them, Ricky and Taylor, recognized me from the stage and like kind of gave me a point or a head nod, and that was sweet, just to, like, be recognized by the guys from the stage. And then yeah, at the end, to go to the merch line, Ricky was standing there, got to give him a hug, and like he's like, St. John, how you doing, man? And so talked to him for a good bit. um and yeah, then talked to Joel a little bit after that. Talked about bass playing, talked about just playing music in general, and he was just super nice guy. Like, they're just dudes, and they're so cool. And briefly got to talk to Taylor at the end, just kind of shook his hand, and got a picture with him and Ricky and Joel at various times. So it was a good crowd, good mix of ages, and yeah, the only complaint was that I'm just wanting them to come back to Virginia. So, like, hopefully, because they've done Northern Virginia, that they'll come more my way in the Southwest, central part of the state. So, guys, please check these guys out. The Wild Feathers are absolutely awesome. Oh, and I should mention they were touring under this album, their latest album, Sirens, which is on New West Records, and they did do a bunch of songs from this, including the song Stereo. They had one song on here on the set list that didn't make it. LA Makes Me Sad is kind of this nice ballad by Taylor. Come Down, I think they did that one. Rendezvous was another good one on this album, which they didn't do. But yeah, just so many good songs. I can't remember which ones they fully did, which ones they didn't. So I apologize that I didn't, mention them all. But yeah, got two pieces of merch that I really needed. Didn't get anything signed because I have the record signed already. I didn't want to take that out of the shrink and do the whole thing. And yeah, I got a guitar from Ricky, so I'm set with the Wild Feathers. But guys, check these guys out. Any of these albums, I guess if I were to start you on anything, either do Greetings from the Neon Frontier or Alvarado. Just fantastic production on those, and I can't recommend these guys enough. So, guys, thanks for indulging me. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out the Wild Feathers. Tell them I sent you, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Y'all be good out there. Bye now.